Lesnar was actually caught taking pictures with fans after he won the championship.
Beautiful.
It's so awesome. Brock looks like he's having a great time. Brock has that big old smile on his face, looking like Paul Bunyan, who just got his big blue in the form of the WWE championship. What's next? Brock will be on SmackDown this Friday, and we'll have to see what's next. Brock and Lashley are set to compete at the Royal Rumble.
Beautiful.
Rumor and innuendo was that Seth Rollins was supposed to win that match, and Big E was going to go. I mean, Big E's title reign was over regardless.
Oh, okay.
So, and for that, I kind of feel for Big E, and I do feel for Big E. I think it was a lackluster title reign. Not very memorable, if I'm being honest, and that's no knock on Big E. It's the writers. Big E did everything he could possibly do. Plus, this is a COVID-ridden world, man. Nothing is right? You know.
Yeah, I guess.
They say that the Rumble. Okay, they say that the Rumble sets up the path for the road to WrestleMania. Okay, if it is, and say Roman and Brock aren't it, the Tribal Chief and the Beast go their separate ways after Friday. We know Brock and Bobby can go hard. The match literally sells itself. So if we got Lesnar and Lashley at Mania, who do we got for Roman? Shinsuke Nakamura, Cesaro, Sheamus. We got Brock. Raw got Brock, so if they got Brock, we send Seth freaking Rollins to SmackDown? Or do we finally play out the Tribal Chief storyline in which we get the return of the Great One, The Rock?
I think that's going to probably happen regardless. That would be why they steered away towards Brock and Reigns, because it's already happened, and Brock and Lashley sells hard. Rock and Reigns will too, so...
So
they know what they
Bobby gets Brock and Roman gets Rock?
Yeah, sounds about right.
Man, I hope that is WWE. Just send me the check, and you're welcome for writing out that storyline for you. No, I hope
it
that
would
you
make
guys.
More sense. I don't know.
The Rock's not getting any younger, people. Let's get this match out of the way. Let's make it happen. I mean, WWE had cleared so much money as of recently with the dumpage of William Regal, Road Dogg, all the people that they've just gotten rid of recently. Before that, a plethora of talent is going elsewhere, and I think that's smart. I mean, WWE ain't using them. If they're not going to use them, let others get utilized elsewhere. There's a flood in the market. We need people like William Regal. We need people like Road Dogg to go out there and bless other companies with their brain and their talent and their, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. MLW, NWA.
Everybody, I mean,
just
if things are opening up, and I hope that it is, I hope we are so past COVID. But as of recently, like I said, I know people that are getting this new variant and whatnot, and it sucks out there right now, to be honest with you. If I could be completely honest, my daughter just caught a little bug, and when she went to the hospital to make sure it wasn't COVID, both places that she went to had 5-hour long waits, and both hospitals were completely full. And I live in
if that's the way things
I don't live in Los Angeles. I don't live in any place that's super huge. I do live in a big city of Stockton, California.
A lot of the time, this time of year, it's bound to be like that regardless, but it's not all COVID. It can't be all COVID. You wouldn't think.
I would hope that it's not all COVID, but if you can guess, if you know who, I think it's going to ultimately be Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns at WrestleMania.
Boo.
I think that's
been there, done that.
Well, no, not really, and the reason, and not in the new
with Brock's new gimmick,
not the new iteration of it, not with the new Roman and the new Brock. I'm just saying, we got happy Brock and we got, we got fun Brock. I think Brock Lesnar reinvented his new character is better than anything else going on in wrestling. To be honest with you, plus I think that Brock Lesnar is the modern day Hulk Hogan in the fact that he's the most recognizable, most over, best heavyweight going right now and going in the last 10 to 20 years.
I don't want it.
I understand you don't want it, but you haven't been. But you're not emotionally invested like I am. I am emotionally invested in that storyline.
I don't know. I don't want it unless it's title for title and they're unifying the shit again.
They're not going to unify it. I don't think they're going to. And I know where you're coming from, and I'm glad that you think that way because we're not supposed to always get. We're not supposed to be. You're supposed to. Yeah, you're yin to my yang, sir.
So, you mean to tell me out of all these releases, no title belts have been released yet?
What do you mean? Like the TNT or the
Stuff
TBS
like that,
or the
unifying shit, man. I don't have to do it all, but fuck.
You just gonna let me slip those two belts in there? The TBS or the TNT?
No shit. I'm gonna do what you gotta do.
Those are stupid belts, bro, and those exist on the other one. You can't be all day.
They either come up with better names or not make too many either.
I mean, let's be honest with you. The 24/7 title might as well be called the USA belt.
The PG hardcore title.
No, the USA belt.
USA
was like
AEW did that to be different.
But if we're being honest, that's why those belts exist because you want a television title and there you go. That's your television title.
Well, I guess, but it's
because that's the guy who's going to bring a title to you every single week and
comedy act
defend it every single week on their station.
Sorry, PG version of the hardcore title. And then over there, it's actually
it's
actually a mid card title.
So how do you feel about Brock and how do you feel about Roman and if you don't like Roman and Brock, how do you feel about Roman and Shinsuke? Don't like it, right?
Shinsuke's going over,
and that's not going to happen.
Well, then why have it?
Exactly. So if not Shinsuke, Cesaro. What about Cesaro?
Is he going over?
No.
Well, then why have it?
Exactly. So if it's not those two, okay. What about AJ Styles?
Circle back to him debuting. His first matches were with Reigns, Styles. I don't know. No, it don't matter. That's great. Have it. Reigns going over? Like
of course.
Have it?
Exactly. Why have it? Exactly. So The Rock don't need to win, and we need a passing of the torch between The Rock and Roman. Now, The Rock and Roman is the best match you can make, but if not that, I'll take Brock and Roman. But then who? I mean, if that does that mean that Brock's going to drop the title at Rumble to Lashley, so that they don't have to unify the belt?
That's the thing about booking and
because it seems like Brock is more than willing to play ball with WWE right now.
The thing about booking in these new eras, the newer era, is they could do some of these big matches at Rumble and still have those fucking Rock versus Reigns at Mania. Excuse me. You could do Brock and Lashley at the Rumble. That's forcing it. That's rushing it, kind of. But it's a match we all wanted to see, anyways. We you know what I mean? So that usually back in the day, if you had a big match like that, you waited for the big one, anyways. Especially if you were this close.
Now, would Rock have to make a lot of TV appearances? Do you think that Rock would have to make a lot of TV?
He doesn't have to, but at the same time,
so if he
probably will.
So he'll get away with one or two.
He can do more, but that's if he wants to.
Maybe he shows up at Rumble and then he shows up at a couple SmackDowns.
I ain't writing it. Don't know.
But then if he shows up at a couple SmackDowns, USA's mad because they want The Rock too.
Who gives a shit? Shit what people want.
WWE gives a shit about
What USA and Fox cares about? Yeah, I know.
Yeah, of course
You're
they
right.
do.
You're right. But it's
Come on, we gotta think insider baseball now. We're on the inside right now.
You're dissecting it, which is not bad, but it's like you're only going to get probably 2 max besides the actual pay-per-view leading up to it.
You can let us know what you think of any of these scenarios by emailing and interacting with us on our Facebook page, or by by emailing us or interacting with us on our Facebook page. Our email address is b2jthepodcast@outlook.com. I wasn't going to count on you. Or search us up on Facebook, B2J the Podcast, all one word. Look us up. Enough with all that. We got news aplenty yesterday. Yesterday was it was brought to my attention that AJ Styles plans on retiring with WWE as he extended his contract with WWE. Good for him. The indie market, which we
I already knew that.
Thoroughly talked about over the past couple weeks, it's flooded right now with talent aplenty at the moment. So AJ Styles staying home with WWE. Good for him. Good for WWE. Thank you. Moving on. We talked about how Road Dogg and Regal got released. That sucks. I know that Regal, for one thing, is definitely a WWE lifer.
Break Triple H's heart even more. What's Vince doing?
So much.
Too much.
Too much. So, to that point, like I said, it's flooded, right? Tony Khan said that he just made a dream signing.
Oh, my Lanta. Doesn't he say that like once every
couple of weeks?
6 weeks, yeah.
Nobody is going to get me to pop at this point.
You'll see. There's plenty of free market talent, man.
Name some.
You're probably going to get Bray soon. Whenever he's fucking healthy. My bad. Windham.
Bray.
Rotunda.
Bray.
Yeah.
From me to you, Bray. I'm talking to Bray Wyatt right now.
Oh.
Sir Rotunda, please resign with WWE. Next. Johnny Gargano, we could play. I'm willing to play.
Well, I'm sure.
I mean, Tommaso Ciampa. Because, hey, these people, I mean, let's think about it. NXT 2.0, you're dumping William Regal, Road Dogg. You just dumped Gargano. If you are
anybody who's been there for a length of time.
If you are old school NXT, your head's on a platter and you're being served to the masses. What WWE likes to call the land of obscurity.
Vince McMahon treating him like...
As he wishes you all in your future endeavors.
Vince McMahon treating him like Andy did in Toy Story back in the day. I don't want to play with you anymore.
There you go. So, but none of these people are going to give me the pop if they show up at AEW because I'm expecting these guys.
Lies.
So, cool, but expected at this point. Johnny Gargano, old school NXT, goodbye. WWE fleshed all the great in NXT and gave us 2.0, which is taking a little getting used to, if you ask me. But New Year's Evil was a pretty great show, very great show. Tommaso Ciampa. Everything I said about Gargano can be said about Ciampa. Personally, I think if it's going to be a dream signing, who do you think it's going to be?
Don't really have a clue right now. Just let it play out, man. Could be anybody.
Will you pop?
Probably. O'Reilly was nice.
It was a cheap pop, though. I knew. I didn't really know about O'Reilly. I don't really know about Gargano. Those are people. I think it's going to be the Velveteen Dream.
Oh, God.
I would pop, bro. I would pop. If it's the Velveteen Dream, I would pop. I would pop.
Yeah. I hope so, too, but that'd be... I don't think so, man.
So I took a very long way of telling to try and get you to... I would pop for Velveteen Dream. You wouldn't?
We'll see. If it happens, we'll see.
Moving on. How do we feel about the return of Alexa Bliss?
Didn't see it. I'm a bum.
No, it hasn't happened yet. How do you feel about the inevitable return of Alexa Bliss? It's happening next week, from what I gather, and I was just asking you, how do you feel about it? Should she